Hello and good morning, my fire friends. Welcome to another awesome Fiery Fun stream. I am your host, the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So, we are, of course, continuing our deep dive into Edge of Eternities, and as I speak right now, they've already announced a small little sneak peek of the Avatar cards. Don't get me wrong, I do actually like that set coming out, but oh my goodness, we're just like going way too fast here with everything coming out. Granted, of course, they didn't reveal the whole set, but still, it just feels so exhausting to kind of just deal with everything all being thrown at us all at once. But that's neither here nor there for today. What we really want to do is talk about, of course, our awesome standard deck for us, focusing on some Edge of Eternity cards and a handful of other cards that really highlight one of the cool combos that you can do in the format right now. What deck am I talking about? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's jump into it right now and show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. Awesome. Yay. Awesome. So, of course, we've already played a couple months ago with Sephiroth utilizing in the Pioneer format. We did deck tech focused on him with Mono Black Sacrifice. But what if we took it to another color and also brought it to standard? So without further ado, join me today in the format for a deck that is simply Space Sacrifice. So, as always, we like to talk about this deck in whole. Mostly this is how we do it. For those of you who are new to this, we'll go over the entire deck tech, we'll go over the stats, we'll go over, of course, every single card and their functions. We'll then play as many matches as we can in best of 1, and we'll play as many matches as possible as we can in best of 3. We'll do, of course, the budget version of the deck. If you like the deck, we're going to show you near the halfway point of the stream how we can upgrade the deck, take it to the next level, and make it even stronger than it currently is. So with that, oh, hey, Den Splendid, good morning, my fire friend. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Let's go over the stats of the deck right now. Excuse me. But of course, long-time viewers of the channel know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So, our Space Sacrifice deck is Orzhov colors. In other words, it's going to be white and black. Our average mana curve will be about 2.0, and we'll be rocking a total of 28 creatures, 4 instants, 8 sorceries, 4 artifacts, and 20 lands total. So, Space Sacrifice, of course, we're trying to utilize, of course, a lot of the brand new cards from Edge of Eternities that actually will help, of course, beef up this game plan here. Of course, Sacrifice decks have still been here and there throughout the formats, so it's not like we're treading any new ground, but we definitely have a lot of cool options for us thanks to Edge of Eternities. I should have called it Dead Space. Oh! Yeah! I can't believe I should have probably called it that. Maybe we might have to change the thumbnail later on for that one. I will probably mess around with that a little bit later on, so we'll kind of talk about that. So yes, Dead Space. I can't believe dang, maybe I should save that maybe for another title. I don't know. And either way, you totally caught me off guard with that one. I was actually up late last night trying to figure out what was the best way to name the thumbnail, and now you kind of hit me with something that makes me look like, wow, my title looks terrible here. But again, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Any case, let's go over the deck itself and let's talk about again how we want to make this all work. So we're going to be highlighting, of course, 2 key cards that are going to really help us out here. Actually, 3 cards in total here. The whole deck focuses on a brand new card that came from us from Edge of Eternities here, Sir Vondum Sunstar Exemplar here. It's an Orzhov 2/2 Human Knight white and black card that has Vigilance and Menace. And it reads, whenever another creature you control dies or is put into exile, put a +1/+1 counter on Sir Vondum and you gain 1 life. If Sir Vondum dies or is put into exile while its power is 4 or greater, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. So in other words, just get 2 counters on Sir Vondum here, and whatever happens to him, then you can, of course, just blow something up. And it's actually pretty nice for us because this actually gives us one of the neat issues. Actually, it solves a neat issue that sometimes you get when some of your stuff gets blown up. In other words, when it goes away, you have a way of kind of just dealing something else before it completely is gone. So, and it's actually nice because it actually can get destroyed, or it can put in exile. So it works either way. In any case, we want to highlight this card specifically with Umbral Color Zealot here. So, a 2-mana, 3/2 human cleric that reads, at instant speed, you can sacrifice another creature or artifact, then you get to surveil 1. That's actually an amazing rate for this deck. And it really is cool for us because there's no limits on this. You can do it at instant speed. You just kind of blow up your whole board really quickly, so then you can trigger off Sir Vondum amazingly quick here. However, there's one more key piece that we want to do to get more value out of the deck. And of course, I'm sure all of you know where we're going with this. It's got to be Sephiroth, Fabled Soldier here. So humans have Avatar Soldier, 3/3, and it says whenever Sephiroth enters or attacks, you sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. Anytime a creature dies, your target opponent will lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. Then, if this is the 4th time this ability has resolved this turn, you transform Sephiroth into Sephiroth One-Winged Angel, flipping it over. Then it has a new ability that reads, when of course it transforms, you get an emblem that reads, whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. So that emblem will stick on the battlefield for the rest of the game. There is really, honestly, no way to get rid of it, which is actually really nice for the card. And then, of course, when this version of Sephiroth attacks, you can sacrifice any number of other creatures. And if you do, draw that many cards. So the whole game plan's idea is we can either pump up Servandum as things die, gain some life to stabilize, and we can use Umbral to, of course, sacrifice things quickly. So then Sephiroth, once it's out here, we can then flip it immediately and then start doing some massive damage and just drain out our whole opponent with their abilities. But what are we sacrificing to all of this? So again, this is a budget deck, so we're going to try to keep it as cheap as possible, but I'll show you, of course, the upgrades later on into the game itself. So in the 1-drop slot here, we're mostly going to have all of our sack fodder. So it's going to be Nesting Bot here. We have Infestation Sage and Nezumi Linebreaker here. All of these, of course, are 1-mana creatures that also, whenever they die, they will leave behind a creature token, which actually we can take advantage of. Each of the creature tokens also has some small utility. So Nesting Bot here has Start Your Engine. So if we manage to get to max speed, the creature itself can get +1/+0. Not a huge deal, but sometimes that extra power can come in handy. If it ends up dying, however, it leaves behind a servo token that's also a 1/1. We'll have Infestation Sage here. If this creature dies, however, you get to leave behind a black and green insect with flying. Sometimes that flying also can be, again, valuable depending on this board state. And finally, with Nezumi Linebreaker here, if this dies, you get a Mercenary token. It's a red token, and it also can tap another creature we control to give it +1/+0 until end of turn. You can only activate this as sorcery speed, but that actually can be pretty helpful, again, to get a little extra power. So each of them have something that can offer you a little extra value along the way. We'll also utilize here Star-Shaped Cleric, so 2-mana, 2/1 Bat Cleric here. While unfortunately the creature cannot block, anytime we gain life, we can make our opponent lose 1 life. It has Offspring, so technically if you want to cast this for 5 mana, you can get 2 copies of it, which is actually good to then trigger off things even quicker. We want to make, again, as many tokens as possible. In the 3-drop slot, we'll have Hop to It here, so this sorcery will allow us to make 3 1/1 White Rabbit creature tokens, so again, more sacrifice fodder for us. And then finally, if we just need to also sacrifice things to then draw some more cards, we also have Corrupted Conviction here. You then sacrifice a creature and then simply draw 2 cards. Now, with all of this sacrificing that we're doing back and forth here, we definitely want to try to get a little bit more value. So one of the other final cards that can help us, again, just rally back is Raise the Past here. 4 mana at sorcery speed. This white sorcery card allows us to return all creature cards with a mana value of 2 or less from our graveyard to the battlefield. So this is going to be really helpful for us to ensure that we can just keep bringing stuff back and then re-sacrifice them later on to get more triggers off of Sephiroth here, Servandum, using Umbral Collar Zealot here. You kind of get the idea here. We want to try to get all that value as much as possible. Dense Planet, why no 9 Lives Familiar? Ooh, good question on that one. Well, unfortunately, it is a little bit out of our budget. I mean, technically, you can play it. It's not an expensive card, but it actually can be helpful for this deck. However, we are already hitting the total of 12 rares for a standard deck here, so I just want to keep it as cheap as possible. So that's your answer for now, then, Splendid. But don't worry, we can talk about, of course, upgrades in a little bit regarding the way you want to take this next level halfway through the stream. So don't worry, we will kind of discuss that in a bit. So with that, as far as the mana base is concerned, it's going to be, of course, as cheap as possible. 5 plains, 7 swamps, 4 Lorn Flats here, and Scoured Barrens for some little bit of hitting our opponent here, and also a little bit of life gain. If we're going to play this in best of 3, here's going to be our options for the sideboard. We'll have Duresses here for, of course, the usual control and combo decks out there. So Guide Lantern is going to be our Graveyard Hate. Requisition Raid, of course, to destroy some artifacts and enchantments, or we can sometimes even pump up our team if we just need to do a little extra damage. Case of the Gateway Express, if we want to focus a little bit more on spot removal here, we can then hit everything. Since we do tend to go wide very quickly with this deck, we can then give our creatures a little bit of extra pump. And then finally, some Tithing Blades to kind of just deal with certain cards that we have a hard time dealing with that we cannot deal with spot removal. But otherwise, that is the whole deck for you, everybody. So, is it possible for this Orzhov sacrifice build to get us some extra wins in the standard formats? Or will we just get completely overrun with the current meta? Well, there's only one way to find out. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's play the deck, and let's see how well it does. So we're going to jump in right now. Standard ranked. But yeah, now that you mentioned that, Dense Planet, I think I might actually go back later on and kind of change the thumbnail just to kind of make that a little bit more appealing to say Dead Space. Although, then again, like, I don't know. I kind of wanted to keep maybe that name for maybe another deck in the future. I was thinking like some kind of zombie deck when mono black. But anyway, we'll kind of, I'll have to debate that one later on. For now, let's see. Okay. Well, we don't have any of our sack fodder here, but we'll keep it because we do have a Corrupted Conviction to draw. Alright, let's see. Forlorn Flats, ping our opponent for 1. Alright, opponent, what you got? Show me what you got. Okay. Restless Reeve, alright. Got a lot of Sephiroths, got a lot of other cards here. If nothing else, at least Umbral Color Zealot also does decent damage as a 3-2. Spyglass Siren. Okay, make a BAP token. They sacrifice immediately. Alright, that's fine. Get another land. Okay, we got Servandum already online, so that's nice. Let's play Servandum. We'll swing now. Down to 16. Alright, opponents. Lands comes down. Okay, nothing. Okay, they do swing. Do they have removal or anything else that can stop us here? Let's see. Anything, opponents? Opponents thinking. Dance Planet. I haven't even finished with Final Fantasy and it's already about Avatar now, bro. Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one, which is going to be a question that I was going to ask everyone. So, what are your thoughts already on the fact that we're already getting information about Avatar already popping up? Don't get me wrong, again, I do like the series. I am a big fan of the show. It just feels way too soon to already be talking about such another cards from another set. It's like, man, slow down. I'm still trying to finish up Final Fantasy, and at that point already we were doing Edge of Eternities. Rotation already happened. It seems like a lot of people already kind of moved on from Edge of Eternities already, because people are already talking about Spider-Man as well. So it's just, everything just feels like it's flying in my face way too much here. I'm pretty sure a lot of you can agree out there. So yeah, what are your thoughts already, everybody, on what we already saw currently from the Avatar previews we got today? Do you like the cards, at the very least, or are you just concerned about other things regarding what this set may do? Oh, you haven't watched it? Okay. I mean, if you're a fan of, that's how I would put this. It has an ongoing story that is actually pretty nice. I do like it. And it actually appeals to a lot of different people all over. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a really good way of explaining it. Starship Cleric. Okay, we have to take out Kaido because that can't get any value anymore. So that's gone.
I'm definitely lost.
Okay, so let's see. Where's our opponent going to play? Deep Cavern Bats. Alright. A little annoying, but it's not bad. I mean, we have more than enough Sephiroths and another Servandum if things get blown up. But yeah, if anybody out there has not seen Avatar, if you're a fan of ongoing story arcs, it definitely evokes a lot of the feeling of a Japanese anime, if that's your jam. But I love it. And it's actually very good overall. So I definitely would recommend it for anybody out there if you're a fan of animation or just like a good story. Let's see. Okay, another Starship Cleric, which I guess is fine for now. Starship Cleric, number 2. Shoot the Sheriff. Okay, so here's how we do this. Corrupted Conviction, I guess. I guess we will get that. We'll get the extra counter on there. So now that it gets blown up, at least Servandum can actually take out something. Okay, so I guess we'll take out the Deep Cavern Bats. Excuse me. Okay, we swing. Block? No blocks? Okay, down to 10. Okay, we're almost there, everybody. Not the most exciting of matches right now, but we're making it work. Dance Planet. I made a Dimir Poison deck. Seems decent so far. There is actually a card that did come out from Edge of Eternities that does support Poison. But of course, we definitely have to build something with that coming up soon. Maybe I might be able to get that out in time for the next live stream at the end of the week. But yes, Poison actually got a little bit of a resurgence recently. Also kind of got blown up by a mono blue artifact Poison deck. I just wish I had that one recorded, but yeah. Actually looked pretty fun. Okay, so with that. Okay, so we got the Raise the Pass. That's good, but it's still going to be a while before we even get there. So. No attacks yet. Let's get out that Nezumi Line Breaker. Okay, so We really could use a couple more of our cheaper creatures here. Anything that would help us just kind of get this game plan going. Okay, free swing from our opponent here because our bat can't block. That's okay, though. Opponents. Okay, Kaido is doing Kaido things again. Annoying. Again, still not the worst.
Rise up and step out of the shadows and into the fray.
Okay, opponents. Down to 13. They will draw some cards. Alright. Hopefully we won't run into too many the VV Cauldron decks out there, because I know that's been an absolute menace currently in Standard. Which does lead me to another question I was going to ask everyone. What are your thoughts right now on the Agatha's... For those of you that maybe are playing more Standard, I guess? Maybe some of you are Pioneer, but Agatha's Soul Cauldron / VV. Trust me, I do like VV, but I think that was a mistake. And I think we're starting to see the ramifications of that as we speak. So, let's see here. I guess I already know we have all the Sephiroths in the wards, so we might as well just do it now. Opponents. Do you have an answer, opponents? Yeah. Obviously, I know you don't play Standard dense opponents, but some people do. So, just kind of curious about how some people thought process was on that one. Alright. Do a little life gain and drain. Leave behind a mercenary token. Okay, gain some life, drain some life. Swamp. Okay, so we're gonna get a little cheeky here against our opponent here. If they block Ending Curiosity. Ooh, okay. Where do they tap down? I would tap down... Oh yeah, I figured they would tap down Star-Shaped Cleric. Okay. So with that... I mean, even so, that doesn't really hurt us that much. So they do block here. And I guess at that point, we will... I guess we'll do this now. Okay. Drain. Okay, Nezumi Linebreaker is good. Down to 2. We get 2 more out of that one. And we now trigger Sephiroth here, so he will flip. And now we get an emblem. So at this point now, I think it would be a good time to kind of just start bringing everything back. Dense Planet. The 2 decks I've played so far, Dimir Poison and Mono Red Chandra. Bro, you play those decks all the time. Don't get me wrong. I mean, not to poke too much fun at you, but I definitely know that's definitely your style. You definitely love Dimir, but you definitely love Chandra a lot.
You're not going anywhere.
Okay, opponent is locking down Sephiroth here, which is gonna be a bit of a problem, but we can still find a way to get around it. Okay, we just need to get a little bit more value here. Just a little bit more. So at this point, I think we have a decent enough graveyard. We can definitely start getting everything back quickly here. Our opponent, however, needs to answer us now. We will block Enduring Curiosity. So we do get a little bit more value out of that. Here we go. Life gain and drain. Okay. More card draw. Anything else, opponents? Okay, so here we go, everybody. We'll put down, first off, the nesting bots. Or maybe not. Okay, nesting bots. Nezumi Linebreaker. Anything else, opponents? Nope. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's see here. Another Enduring Curiosity, okay. Opponent's got all the flashing value here against us, and it is very annoying. Okay. We can still do this, though. We just gotta kind of have to awkwardly chump block for a little bit while we kind of keep draining out our opponents. Okay, Restless Reef, too. Okay. Opponent's gonna do some milling. Interesting. We just need one more white source. If we can get one white source, raise the past here, pretty much gets us the win. This literally is all it comes down to. Okay, so we do get some stuff milled. We really could have used that white source, though. That's okay. Alright. Restless Reef. During Curiosity. That's when I have seen the cards and the new abilities. My favorite bending ability to me so far, airbending and earthbending. Airbending, I think, is definitely going to be very, very relevant in the current formats. Also just because, again, of all the stuff you can do with it. Earthbending also looks fun, too, because you can then start getting a bunch of stuff and do creature lands, which is actually really cool. Okay, opponent's going to draw literally every card right now. Okay. It's okay, everybody. Dang. down to 5. We literally just need one. Just need to get a little bit more drain out of him. Trajectory, okay. So there goes Sephiroth. Butter did a full swing, though. So that means if Soulstone Sanctuary... Well, they can't even turn that on. That's actually good for us. So I think we might be able to pull this off here. Maybe. We'll see. Spyglass Knight. Okay, so they do have a chump blocker. But they will have to chump block. Otherwise, they might lose here. Come on, deck. Come on. Give me a white source, and we got this. We got this one. I think that's all we need. Okay, 2 more mana open. Does our opponent do anything else? They do that. Okay, Umbral Color Zealot doesn't do it for us, but okay. Alright. Sephiroth coming in. Do you have anything else, opponents? Phantom Interference. Dang. They actually have the counter. Alright. Well, that means that now we lost. Dang. So close on that one, too. Alright. Okay. First loss of the day, everybody. A shame, but we came close. We just literally just needed one more mana source. We actually could have rallied there. But at the same time, our opponent did have a counter spell. It's okay, though. Not a big deal. We're definitely going to try again. Alright. Dense Planet, especially Toph. The one that turns non-token artifacts into lands and earthbends is very fun. That one I'm definitely looking forward to playing around with, because I saw that and I was like, oh boy, we could definitely have some fun with that card. So Toph will definitely be, I could definitely see that being a very, very popular card coming up. But until then, let's see. Alright, so we have plenty of Raise the Past here. We need a little bit more sack fodder. We've got plenty of tapped land, so we're going to be a little slow here, but it's okay. We'll slowly build up what we need. We'll keep this hand. Oh yes, imagine animating vehicles and artifacts and equipment. Oh man, that could be a lot of fun though. I definitely see we can get a lot going with her. So it's gonna be a fun one. Definitely say that. We'll definitely say that. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, I'm just gonna start pinging us. So they got Iridescent Vine Lasher. Okay. Oh, okay, they're lizards. That's cute. Okay. I did build a lizard deck last year when we actually got Bloomburrow, which I really was proud of. I actually liked how that deck turned out. Okay, ping our opponents. Go up to second. No attacks yet. We can get down Servandum, which will be nice. Just that way we can provide a decent blocker for a bit. Alright, opponents. What else you got? Okay, Viashino Pyromancer. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot that's still, of course, standard now thanks to Foundations. The fact that it's no longer a Viashino is kind of a little bit of a misnomer. I think they should have kept the typing. They could have just called it, you know, Viashino Lizard Wizard. But that is hilarious, though. Lizard Wizard. Alright, so with that, Forlorn Flats again. Ping our opponents. Trigger by Starter Engines. Not a huge deal, but it can be helpful. Alright, Servandum coming down. No attack still. We can also get things going with Hop to It and the Umbral Color Zealots. Okay, pinging us again. Down to 10. Thought Stalker. Warlock. Alright. So we're going to try to get a peeky peek at our hand and kind of toss something away. Still annoying, but it's okay. Not a big deal. Okay, they throw away the Zealots. Alright, that's fine. I guess at this point now we're going to have to start blocking a bit. Down to 5. Okay. Get to life. Get a token. Okay. So with that, we'll play the Scour Barons. Play Hop to It. Make a bunch of tokens. Swing here for free. Down to 15. And up to now max speed. Max speed doesn't hurt us, doesn't really help us that much, but hey, I guess it's nice to know we have it. We have 2 Raise the Pass, so this should hopefully rally us back. We just got to hang in there for a couple turns. If our opponent starts swinging, though, then we definitely get very cheeky here very quickly. Okay, 3 mana open, opponent. What else you got? Laughing Jasper Flint. Oh, well, this is definitely one of your favorite cards, Genslinet. So with that, I guess our opponent kind of knew the deal. Okay, let us... I guess we don't have a choice here. We'll have to Raise the Pass now. And then with that, We're going to swing here, and we're going to see what they do. Opponents, do you block? If they block, we can start sacrificing our rabbits for some more value. Okay, they did not. Okay. Down to 12. Okay, so they will get to exile 5. No, actually, they literally exiled a bunch of lands. I mean, I guess that works for us. Okay. Well, that didn't feel so bad then. Okay, so get king here, down to 4. Make the offspring. Ow, they beat us. Wait, hold on. Well, technically, no. 3, 2, 1. They will sacrifice here, but we can gain the life back right now. So, as that damage goes on the stack... Alright, I guess we have no choice. We have to sacrifice everything. But we still kind of lose anyway because I realize we can't chump block now. So I can still sacrifice here things. Gain the life. Hop to it, gets dumped into the yard. Dang. I mean, at this point I could just do a desperation sack. Just to kind of keep ahead of our opponent here. 3, 2, 1. Opponents. Big swing, I'm guessing. Big swing. Maybe. I mean, I think they pretty much have it won already here. Because let's see. I can chump block then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and we have 5 creatures. Okay. Yeah, okay. Because I'm like doing the math right now. I'm like, okay, so the Thoughtstalker Warlock would be the only thing I probably would have to worry about because I have to block that with 2 creatures. But the rest of it, yeah, dang. All right, let's see if our opponent figures that out though. Do they just swing? Oh, they don't. Okay, well, okay, well, that might actually give us a shot here. Okay, so with that, let us Corrupted Conviction. We'll throw the Zealots away. Get another counter on him. Draw 2 cards. Okay, so with that, okay, raise the past. There we go. We can still do a big swing here. Opponents? Do you block? If they don't block, I think we might actually be able to get a sneaky win here. Opponents? Anything? Okay, so they do block, but they have to block with 2 creatures. Okay, so with that, it's 2 and 5. Okay. 2 creatures down. Okay, opponent is going to now do 6 now deep. So they do manage to steal a couple of things. Nothing that's going to hurt us at least too much here. At least I don't think so. Okay. Okay, so lizard spell. Okay, so they do ping us here. Okay. Lizard. 1 card left, opponent. Is it the land? If it's a land, then I don't think we'll live here. I do have our Sephiroth, which is annoying, because that was really what we needed to survive. Okay, so I think that at that point... Like, I can still, at instant speed, do that. But unfortunately, that does mean our opponent still puts us in a bad spot here. Okay. Throw away. Nesting box. Desperation. I mean, we still keep gaining the life, but that's still other... Oh, yeah. There's no way we can actually get around that because no matter what, he's still going to keep life gaining and draining us from its own ability. Well, wow. We actually lost from our own Sephiroth there. That's a shame. Tried to find a way around that, but our opponent somehow beat us with lizards. Honestly, I still can't be mad about that. I do like lizards currently, and I do have a lizard deck myself. But dang, just couldn't get around that trigger. It's all good, though, everybody. Maybe I should put into a vote on here. Like, do you guys like the name of the deck, or maybe we should switch it out to Dead Space? But if I switch it there, that means I can't use that name probably ever again for any other future deck tech. Something I have to think about. Okay. So we got a lot of sack fodder here. So hopefully this can help us get into what we need. Everything's basic, so that's good. Let's get that line breaker out. All right. All right, opponents. What you got? Show me what you got. Hired clock. Oh, okay. Lizards again, I guess? Or mono red aggro. Either way. Infestation Sage. Forlorn Flats. Ping our opponent for 1. And no attacks. Okay. The Zealot will be helpful soon. Okay, opponent is swinging. Do they trigger their ability? Which I'm guessing they're going to do. Okay, they don't. So only at 18, which is not too shabby. Hop to it. We get ourselves 3 white rabbit creature tokens. Lots of bunnies. We'll do a swinging ourselves. Opponents? Okay, so do you have a shock? That's fine. Better they waste their burn on our creatures, because we can still fill up the graveyard. Down to 18. Still anyone's game. So question for everybody also out there. Now that we got a little bit of a sneak peek of both the Spider-Man and Avatar, which set are you more looking forward to? Even if you're not a direct fan of either one of them, which one would you rather play with? And I'm pretty sure I can figure out the answer there, but I am going to ask everybody there, whether you're watching live or on the replay. Are you looking forward to Spider-Man coming out, or are you looking forward to the Avatar set coming out? All right. No box there. Dense Planet. No, switch to my idea. I mean, I can. I guess if that's how everyone feels about that, I can always just switch out the thumbnail. I kind of wish I kept the thumbnail from last night, though. All right, so in the meantime, get that Swamp. Umbral Collar Zealot. Let's get our swings going. All right, I guess now became a go white strategy now. Down to 13 opponents. We'll get down the second one, so at least we can chump block with 1. Oh, Burst Lightning. Okay. All right. I mean, that's fine still. We still have a third one our opponent doesn't know about. Okay, so anything else, opponents? I guess we can switch it out to Dead Space later on. We could totally do that. I mean, that's what all sounds like a better name for a deck. I mean, it kind of does. All right, Screaming Nemesis. Opponent is swinging. Down to 12. We can't afford to take damage with it because we want to make sure we can actually keep life gaining if we need to. Okay, hop to it. We need life gain and drain now. We need to keep pace with our opponents. Corrupted Conviction's not horrible, so let's do this. Zealot number 3, I guess. Swing with just the insect. Down to 12. Still anybody's match. Also, we're getting a new lesson. Yes, we're also getting new lesson spells. So that means the learn mechanic should be now coming back, which is great for us. Desmond also saying, I say more excited for Avatar cards. Seems more interesting and stronger. Oh, we have a brand new follower today. So Dina, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher this for a second here. While our opponent is also trying to swing. Hold on, 1 second. Hold on. I'll acknowledge it. Don't worry. We're going to block with the token. But yes, thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Let me get this in first real quick. We got Dina Samuel's art. Did I say that right? I think I said that right. I do apologize if I did. And there we go. Okay, so we did manage to avoid the Screaming Nemesis from doing its thing. Get to Lava Runner. Okay, so they're just mono red aggro. That's interesting. Okay, we'll sacrifice another bunny. But yeah. Thanks again for joining us. How's your day going so far? Ooh, we got a Star-Shaped Cleric. That's actually good too. So let's see. Servandum. Finally in, which is good. Let's see here. Okay. We'll get Servandum in here now. And I guess we will Star-Shaped Cleric now. I wanted to get it for the offspring value, but I don't know if we're going to survive that long against mono red aggro, so we might as well just get the value that we can while we can. Okay. Gain some life. Drain our opponents. Alright, well, it's up to our little insect token to get the value going. If we have to, though, now we can get a little bit more value going on with our combo here. Excuse me. I have a bit of a terrible cough. Opponents, what you got? Hey, dude, what are you playing today? And just also, I followed you upon Twitter art. So, thanks again for that. Right now we're playing a Space Sacrifice deck. Although, one of my fiery friends here has suggested that we kind of change the name, which I think probably would be better to call it Dead Space. But what's your thoughts on that one? So, otherwise it's a sacrifice deck where we're just trying to sacrifice things here, as you can see, for value. And hopefully we're going to try to beat down our opponent with this game plan here. Just a lot of sacrificing, life gain and drain, as you see. Oh, we got another Servonum. That's good. And then that is what we're going to try to do here. Beat down our opponents. Okay, Infestation Sage. That's good. All right, we're trying to load the yard now. Okay, 3 damage there. Okay, so I think our best solution here is we sacrifice everything. Okay, we definitely are going to have to do that now. Okay, so our opponent here is going to try to see if they're going to try to get cheeky, which they don't. But here's what we're going to do here to finish this match. Sacrifice the bunny. Cleric will drain. We gain some life. Nesting bot. Beautiful. Okay, we're just loading up the yard now. Sacrifice one of our other zealots. 6. Okay, so then put it in the yard. Sacrifice Servondum here. We will blow up one of the Screaming Nemesis. I guess we'll keep Sephiroth on top. And then finally, Star-Shaped Cleric. Actually, hold on. We'll keep that. And then, here we go. This is what we all came here for. Raise the pass. There we go. Nice! And there we go. Our opponent has had enough. Victory goes to us. Woo! Bringing back everything from the yard to then re-sacrifice for life gain and drain shenanigans. There you go, everybody. So that was our sacrifice deck for you. I guess I'll just change the name later on to Dead Space because, I guess, yeah, Space Sacrifice doesn't sound as cool as Dead Space. So yeah, remind me about that at the end of the stream. I definitely have to then re-edit the thumbnail for that one. But okay, first win, everybody. Yeah. All right, so getting our dailies done. All right, let's keep that going. But there you go. We finally were able to get a nice little win with the deck, so you can kind of see what we want to do there. Just again, nothing super fancy. Just life gain and drain, out grinding our opponent there for some value, using our instant speed sacrifice abilities to kind of mess with our opponent combat-wise, and hopefully we can get our win. Okay, so this hand has... Okay, none of our sack value fodder is here, but that's okay. We still have the Vondum. We have the Sephiroth. Starship Clerics can get us some draining going on there. Alright, Scoured Barons. Alright, opponents. Planes. Alright, we will play the Starship Cleric first. It's a good attacker in the sky. Okay, so with that, opponent's got a plane, so what are they playing? What you got, opponent? Another planes. Mono white. Is it mono white cats? Tokens? I guess we'll find out in a bit. So with that, let's play Servondum now. Swing, right? Down to 18. Okay, so with Hop 2 it out, we have Sephiroth here. We have plenty of ways to start draining out our opponent here and then getting a ton of extra value. Hopefully we can get there with what we got. But I'm glad also you brought that up, Densplinit. So with the new avatar cards, we did see that we will get confirmed. Lessons are coming back, so that does mean we have to get the learn mechanic as well. So I'm looking forward to doing that. That actually gives a lot of good flexibility for best of one decks out there. Mostly just because lesson learn allows you to dig through your sideboard to get some extra stuff. So that's actually kind of cool. In the meantime, though, let's see. Opponent's going to be playing... Oh, they're playing with cats. That's cute. Nice little mono white cat stack there. Meow meow. Alright, and then we will swing. Starship Cleric, doing 17. We could attack with Servondum, but I didn't want to do it just immediately. We want to get a little bit more value. If anybody remembers from Strixhaven, that's where we got our lesson learned cards from. So, what are your thoughts on those cards? Being able to then cast a card that allows you to dig through your sideboard to get another card out from the yard. It definitely adds a unique dynamic, especially for best of one, or even best of three, to kind of readjust your sideboard accordingly. Okay. Opponent's going to start pumping out Johnny's Primate. Alright. Well, we can chump block, I'm sorry. Blech. Words are hard. I can chump block that for days. Alright, cover up the conviction. We'll sacrifice one bunny. Get a little life going. Life gain and drain. Okay. Drain our opponent there. Draw 2 cards. Nice. Forlorn Flats. Okay. We got 2 more. Okay, we got another corrupted conviction. That's good. So with this, let's see. How do we want to do this here? I think... put in the Infestation Sage first. Our goal is to try to get Sephiroth to flip ASAP. That's what we're hoping for. Sephiroth in. Sacrifice another bunny. Draw a card. Okay. Get that life gain and drain going. That's what we want. So this is again where Star-Shaped Cleric gets to shine, because now with all that life gain we get, we can keep draining our opponent without having to do anything. Get the Swamp. And now we have also Corrupted Conviction ready to go just the same. Swing with the Cleric. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there, everybody. Okay. So let's see. Board state right now. They still have a pretty hefty hand. But if they're just playing mono white cats, that's not really much of a threat against us. So this should be fine for us. I think we can get a win after this with another one with this one. Okay. So while we're doing this, question for everybody is, now that we've had enough time for Edge of Eternities out, did you like this set overall for what it is? Do you feel like the set has kind of been bland to you? Do you like the theming? Or are you just someone that kind of was, I don't know, maybe was there other sets that you enjoyed earlier this year? We still have 2 more sets to go soon. I know the next one is going to be a little bit, again, on the divisive side regarding, again, however you feel about Spider-Man. But I think Avatar will be very well received among fans. Even if you haven't actually seen the show, at the very least, the aesthetics of Avatar, at least they do kind of fit magic to a degree. Sacrifice our Infestation Sage. Alright, getting that life gain and drain going. There we go. That's what we came here for. Okay. Drain. Gain. Gain. Drain. There we go. Alright, we got another Corrupted Conviction too. Alright. Oh, I think we can actually pull off a victory here. So here's how we do this. So we will play Infestation Sage again. Okay. And then we'll play Star-Shaped Cleric. No Offspring, because we need the extra mana right now. So with that, Infestation Sage sacrificed. There we go. More life gain and drain shenanigans. Alright. Well, still got a lot of cards, so I don't know if they have anything instant speed that we're waiting on here, but we're definitely getting off our triggers here. Ooh, okay. So with that, swing, swing. Let's see. Oh, when he attacks too. We'll just go over the full thing here. We're just going to do the full thing. And then sacrifice that other insect. Draw another card. Okay. Almost there, opponents. So at this point, I think no matter what they do, blocking or not, we can definitely win here on the spot. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. We did it. Cats didn't put up much of a fight there, but, I mean, hey, sometimes you just get steamrolled by certain decks out there, and our deck actually managed to pull this off. Even if our opponent blows up anything right now, the trigger's still on the staff. Oh. Oh, wow. They actually had restoration magic. Okay, well, color me, surprised there, but still, we can still drain them out. Opponents. All right. They have to block with 2 creatures, though. Okay, so with that, so they did have a sneaky little thing against us there. All right, all right. I thought they could get a little cheeky here, but it still doesn't matter. You know what? We'll blow up our own card because we can still get the triggers off regardless. Still drain our opponent here. Just the same. Our opponent thought they got us over there for a second there, but our life gain and drain does not care what gets killed. We still get a victory. Wait, oops. Ooh, wrong one there. We actually won that one. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Very nice. Dense Planet. I kind of like Edge of Eternities. I hope with Avatar coming soon, Red needs help. Oh yeah, Red needs all the help. But I've always been in a conflict when it comes to Red. Don't get me wrong. I always love playing Mono Red no matter what. But the issue always comes down to the same thing. If Red is too efficient, then everyone complains about Mono Red aggro in any format. On the other hand, if we don't move Red just enough, then Mono Red feels like it's terrible, and it's not a very good deck. So I will definitely say, I played Mice quite a bit when it came out. I did like what Mice did, but I can understand why some people did not like it. Maybe if we did some tweaks to something like that, it probably would have been a lot better for everyone overall. But yeah, it's not easy. I will say that. It was definitely tricky to make it work. I think Lizards here, as you can kind of see what the Mono Red aggro our opponent is doing, Lizards probably would have been the better option to make it the pure aggro deck in the format. Down to 17. Mono Musa, thanks again for joining us today. Orzhov Aristocrats? Yes, we are playing Orzhov Aristocrats. And again, thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, as I mentioned, yeah, we're playing Orzhov Aristocrats, but Dense Planet here did recommend that maybe we need to change the name of the thumbnail. Probably change it to, we're going to play just a Dead Space, because realistically, we'd want things in the graveyard to come back. So we will probably change that later on today, once I have some free time to readjust the thumbnail. But for now, we'll just keep the thumbnail that we have, and we'll just make those adjustments. I'm really I'm a little annoyed with myself because I didn't keep the templates I had for this thumbnail. So note to self, the templates at least until we get to fully publishing the video. Okay, in the meantime, opponent here is starting to get really aggro. We just need to keep putting out their chump blockers. Opponent is using their burn spells though. But yes, so far the deck feels pretty decent. It's very affordable, at least in Arena. Because honestly, I know Sephiroth is very expensive in paper. So this is going to be a deck that I would recommend if you'd like to play here in Arena the most. Swinging. Okay, so... I guess we'll do this here. Block with 2 bunnies. One will die, but that's a small price to pay. Take out at least 1 lizard. Okay, nesting bot. Not too shabby. Not enough stuff in the graveyard yet. So let's see, we'll do it this way. Infestation Sage. Coming down. Sephiroth coming in. We'll sacrifice Infestation Sage. Get another nesting bot. Okay. Little by little, we're getting our stuff back here. Life gain and drain. No attacks yet. We need that now to start protecting ourselves from everything that they're going to throw at us. Also, Mono Musa, I enjoy Aristocrats quite a lot. Have y'all considered adding pack beasts? I mean, that is an option. Okay. Opponent is going to trigger life gain and drain, thanks to sacrificing Fanatic Firebrand. Ooh. Okay. Opponent is trying to get stuff going here. Well, thankfully, because of their thing, we're able to survive a little bit here. Okay. Can't afford any kind of other shenanigans they have, so we will wait a bit more. Let's see. Raise the Pass won't get us too much value just yet. Let's see. Umbral Collar. Nesting Bot. And, 3 cards in hand. What are the chances they actually have what they need? That's a tricky one here. Let's see, that's fun. Okay, I'm building new Dimir Brawl deck, and for once it's not about stealing. It's Nashi Searcher in the Dark, aka the Oops All Legendaries enchantment. Oh, okay. I totally forgot about Nashi, though. It's a cool card. We just never got a chance to get around to playing it in the game. I definitely need to, at some point, maybe if not this month, or maybe in the next month or so, depending on how Spider-Man ends out, maybe we'll have to look at getting a couple more, look at some of the cards that we've forgotten over the past year and some from everything. Mostly just because, God, there's been so many cards that I would love to play with. I just haven't had all the time to actually want to get them going. Okay, Starship Cleric. So at this point now, we're just going to start running things out. We need to just fill up the graveyard, because we totally can rally back here if our opponent gives us now time. Because it sounds like they were stumbling a bit here, because our opponent swung with Slick Shot, but they didn't have a pump spell for it, so that means that gives us time. Okay, so sacrifice here. Infestation Sage. We'll throw away the Corrupted Conviction. We really just need stuff to go into the graveyard now at this point. Slow shoot. Block, block. Alright, here we go. They get to exile a card, though. Okay, so I guess our opponent's out of bird spells? I guess that helps us out a bit. Okay, so with that... Oh, Servandum here. Okay, so we got that ready to go. Is there enough in the graveyard now where I think we can pull this off? Okay, let's do this now. There we go. And then from here, swinging. Getting that extra damage in. Down to 16. Okay. Okay, and then let's see. We're going to wait it out a bit here, because I want to see if our opponent tries to pull off any other shenanigans. If they do, I think we simply just... We're going to have to... Okay, down to 6. Do they swing? Okay, opponent is cheeky now, so I think this is our turn to get the victory here. So, ping us. Okay. I'm sorry, opponent. I know what it's like to play mono aggro and get completely stonewalled at a certain point. Okay, 4 Lorn Flats thrown away. So there we go. And there we go, everybody. Opponent just gave up because there was no way they were going to get through our wall of sacrifice fodder here. All right, victory. Nice, nice. We got another one for the sacrifice deck, everybody. I guess we'll just kind of name this Dead Space, thanks to Densplent giving us a much better idea of how to name the deck. But yeah, deck feels very good. It is a lot of fun. Okay, so real quick, get our nice little free card there. Okay, so just that way I can actually change this now. So I'm going to change this here. And don't worry, we will go over the upgraded one in a little bit. So this will be after, we'll do one more best of one, because we are close to ranking up to Platinum 3. Alright, so with that, there we go. So we're now going to call the deck Dead Space, because that actually does sound like a much cooler name. So thanks again to Dan Splendid for coming up with a much better name for our deck. Maybe I should probably ask sometimes others how to name some of my decks. Mono Musa, I love the Raise the Past type decks. That's how I built my Joshua decks. Okay, that's cool. I like hearing that. Every so often, though, I do get that itch to just play a lot of sacrifice for value types of decks. Mostly just because that's how I enjoy my mid-range. I like my mid-range decks where I can kind of start doing that to get extra value out of deck. And that's actually a fun way to kind of start out-grinding opponents. Although, it can be quite a few clicks, or especially if you're playing in paper, that's a lot of tokens to kind of keep track of. But that is something I do enjoy doing. Let's get the planes out first. We'll get Nesting Bot going. Okay, so Starter Engines is online. Okay. Planes for our opponent. Okay. Alright, so with that, let's put out Nesting Bot number 2. Scour Barons to gain some life. We swing. Down to 19 opponents. Alright, shifting now into part 2 of our Starter Engines. Okay, opponents. What you got? Bring it on. Okay, Flood Farm Verge. Okay. What could you be playing, opponent? Oh, Pinnacle Emissary. Oh, okay. Opponent is going to try to make a bunch of drones. Okay, opponent wants to go wide. That's fine. They swing. Okay. Or not. Yes. No. We did play a Pinnacle Emissary deck for Timeless. I like the card a lot, but I think it's a lot more stronger in older formats where you can actually get a ton of extra value from really cheap artifacts. At least, that's how I see it. Let's start swinging here. No way our opponent's going to let these things survive. Oh. Okay. They do want to block. That's cool. No. Okay, opponent figured out quickly that that would have been a really bad idea on their end. Okay, so in the meantime here, we do have the Raise the Pass, which is great once we get everything going here. Our Umbral will be ready to go soon, too. Well, I'm also saying my favorite type of mid-range decks are very synergistic ones. The ones that, if one strategy doesn't work, I can easily switch to another strategy. Okay. What's the current one you have right now that you're playing with? Like, what's your current deck? And I actually will ask that to everybody right now. What is your current deck you are playing right now? Or kind of refining, if you will. Ooh, Tezzerets. We haven't had a chance to play with Tezzeret just yet. I've been wanting to play with Tezzeret, but I don't have enough wild cards for him yet. So I've completely run out of mythics. So whatever I can crack in the next packs in the next couple days, hopefully we can get a Tezzeret deck going. That's what I've been wanting to do for a little while now. All right, Umbral Color Zealots. So at this point, we need to take out Tezzeret. Actually, hold on. Oh, we can totally do this. Hold on. Go to face. And face. And Tezzeret here, down. So our opponent can't block here, which is good. Tezzeret is extremely powerful if you allow this to stick, because all the artifacts it can get will pump its loyalty up insanely quickly. And what's nice is the card triggers off of also tokens too, which actually is crazy. And they actually would do that. Good card, by the way. Maybe hopefully I'll crack one someday. Cryogen Relic, okay. Let's make their drones. If you're interested, everybody, for those that are watching, if you haven't already done so, check out my Timeless deck we put together regarding making a giant drone go white strategy. It would actually work out pretty well. Down to 19. Okay. Warping out the Pinnacle Emissary. So here's what we do this. So Nesting Bot, number 1 going bye-bye here. I'm going to start pumping up Servandum. Okay, Nezumi Linebreaker is good, so we'll just keep that as is. Okay, Star-Shaped Cleric. And Nezumi Linebreaker. Okay, here we go. Swing with everything. We're just going to get super aggro now, because we can start really pulling off some goofy shenanigans here. Excuse me. That's about it. Yeah, Warp with Blink and Flicker, and now soon Airbending seems nice. So yeah, if you're a person that likes to blink, flicker, and just bounce things back and forth from exile to the battlefield, you're going to have a lot of good cards to play with coming up right now. It's going to be a really good time for those of you that like to do that stuff. So I would think, what is it? Not that I want to deal with it again, but the Esper Pixie deck probably will have a lot more tools to work with coming up soon. Monomusa, currently Joshua, actually. It's the Raise the Past Life Gain creature deck you were mentioning. Oh, okay, that's cool. Doesn't matter. I've only got 1 mythic rare left. Oh boy. Ugh. I know how that feels, though. Just trying to just save up, because also Spider-Man is probably going to drain me of everything, too. All right, oop, hold on one second, everybody. We've got... Oh boy. Another bot there. Okay, it's okay. We dealt with it. No big deal. No big deal. Okay, so with that... Alright, well, we're going to just get cheeky here with our opponent. Actually, not the Star-Shaped Cleric. We're just going to go swinging now, because if our opponent's tapped down, this is our turn here to really kind of go off. We can sacrifice everything we need to get Servandum really pumped up here. So let's see. If our opponent blocks... They can only block one thing. Okay. Drones can't do anything, so that means we get 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I think we do it here. Down to 5. Okay. I think we got him here. Corrupted Fiction. Here we go. There goes the life gain and drain. 4. Draw 2. Okay, I think we got him here. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, so then instant speed. Sacrifice the rest of the board. Alright. That's 3. Instant speed. Doesn't matter which ones we sacrifice, because we're getting everything in here now. 3. 2. Raise the pals. We don't even need that anymore. We already have everything we need. Trade again. It's working. 1. Ah. Servo token goes bye-bye. We drain our opponent right there on the spot. There we go, everybody. Victory goes to us once again. Yeah, all right. And we rank up to, was it Platinum 3? Nice, okay. Well, that definitely was a pretty good turnout for our deck. We actually managed to get off quite a few wins there, and we ranked up a little bit there. Yeah, deck feels good. But what if we, at the halfway point now, take this to the next level? So let's talk about the upgrade version of Dead Space here. So with that, let's actually go over what I would personally like to upgrade the deck to. Obviously, I know some of you may not agree fully, but I think this might be a good way of upgrading the deck. So in terms of the upgrades here, if you actually want to invest a little bit more into it, what we're going to be doing is keep, of course, your cheap fodder here. So keep your nesting bots, your infestation sage, your line breakers here. We're going to keep some corrupted convictions, of course. However, we're going to cut a couple of Star-Shaped Cleric here for another card that actually provides good value. So we're going to throw in 2 copies of Voice of Victory here. So with the mobilize ability, swinging with this, actually is pretty nice because this is great for us red warrior creature tokens that we have to sacrifice no matter what. So this will trigger off Vondam. This will trigger off Starshaped Cleric. You can sacrifice them at instant speed with your Color Zealot here just to get more value. They also trigger off again everything with Sephiroth. It's great. It's a really solid card. And also because your opponent, they can't cast spells during our turn, means they cannot interrupt your sacrifice shenanigans. So really good card that I think would be great for the deck. We're going to now add in, instead of Hop to It now for tokens, we're going to add in Preacher of the Schism here. So 3 mana. I'm sure many of you who played Standard know how this card works. Vampire Cleric has Death Touch, and it's a 2/4. So pretty good, actually, stats overall. And of course, when this creature attacks, a player with the player with the most life or tied for the most life, you get to create a token. So can't make tokens as quickly as some of our other cards, but it still can help us out because the tokens do have lifelink, which can be relevant in some matchups. Also, if we attack with this creature and we have more life than our opponent or tied, we will get to draw a card, but we will lose 1 life. So good for us for, again, just churning through our deck to get more value out of it. As far as upgrading the actual mana base, this is again where we get quite a bit here going on here. So we're going to cut down our plains and swamps to the bare minimum that we can afford, and we'll throw in instead a great Arashan city here. So this can help us, of course, just exile cards from our graveyard if we need to then create some tokens. So in some instances, that might be more relevant depending on the matchup we have. We also have Dalkavan Encampment here. This is actually a much more powerful land for us. When we attack, we can create some warrior creature tokens that also are tapped in attacking. Granted, you do have to sacrifice them at the end step, but that's actually a pretty small price to pay because we want stuff sacrificed to get a ton of extra value out of them. We'll also throw in a single copy of Mygar City of Mako here. So this town, we can also utilize this adventure side to then sacrifice something at sorcery speed to draw some cards, which is actually good overall. Again, just more value for the deck. And all the dual lands that we can smush into here. So we get the Verge lands. We will get our Fast lands. We will get our Shock lands, thankfully, because now they are legal again in Standard. So that was perfect timing for this deck. Fountain Port, because we have a ton of tokens to work with here, which we can then utilize if we need to, just to kind of whatever we need to just create with it. As far as the sideboard options now, we will also throw in Authority of the Consuls here so we can slow down those aggro decks that we want to deal with here. Goes great with Starshaped Cleric because of the life gain shenanigans. Keep the Duresses because unfortunately we don't have in the format right now Thoughtseize, but that's perfectly fine. Duresses still do a good job no matter what. Soul Guide Lanterns will now get cut down to a single one. We'll also throw in, however, a single copy of Ghost Vacuum. Depending on, again, how your matchup looks, you might want one or the other. We'll cut down our Case of the Gateway Express to only 2 copies now, mostly because we don't really care too much about doing heavy swings, but this can still be relevant depending on the matchup. An extra copy of Voice of Victory and an extra copy of Starshaped Cleric. This can help you kind of just shape out what you need more of. If you just need more life gain and drain shenanigans here, or if you want to be more aggro with Voice of Victory. And then finally, 2 copies of Arch Enemy's Charm to round out the package here. You can use this at instant speed to either exile a creature or planeswalker, bring back 1 or 2 target creature cards or planeswalkers. We don't have planeswalkers, but this is good for us just to bring back some creatures we need, or put 2+1/+1 counters on a creature we control to give it lifelink until end of turn. Again, same thing. It's relevant with cards such as Starshaped Cleric and all the other stuff we want to get a little extra pump out of nowhere. But those are the upgrades for us that I would kind of play around with here in the format. So let's see if this upgraded version can do some fun stuff for us. All right, we're now going to swap over to the upgraded version. And again, I will make sure to make the update to the thumbnail later on to reflect the newer version of this actual sacrifice deck. Okay. Whew. Let's get this going, everybody. So we should be a lot better here with our mana base. So this, I think, is going to be the biggest upgrade for the deck overall. Musa, it's Commander Brawl deck, so I'm running Teshar and Sun Titan. I had to replace a few cards to make it fit in Brawl, but it's really fun. I'm sure it is. Well, maybe at some point we'll get a chance to kind of see that. I know in a couple of weeks from now, I will set up the day that we will do a stream where if y'all want to face off against me, it'll be a whole day of, well, at least as long as we can. We'll do a fun stream where we can, again, play against each other just for the day. So no established decks or anything like that, just whatever you want to throw at me when that time comes. We will announce this sooner to the date itself, near the end of the month. So that is going to be coming up again. In the meantime, however, let's see. Let's play Concealed Courtyard, Infestation Sage. All right, opponents. Opt. All right. We still have our Corrupted Convictions. I do actually have another variation of this deck if you actually want to play it in the Pioneer format. But originally, considering that almost every card when I originally built this was already in Standard, that's why I kind of flipped this to say, hey, you know what? We can put this together in Standard. We did do some minor tweaks from the original build, but it still works very well, all things considered. Okay, 2 Spider Bluff Canals. All right, Infestation Sage. All right, so in the meantime, put out 1 Sage. If we have to, we can sacrifice the other one. But ideally, what I would like is Voice of Victory to stick. What is our opponent playing? I do worry that it might be the Cauldron deck. We have managed to avoid that so far, but I fear that that might be coming soon. Can sacrifice the Station Sage. Draw some cards. Alright, opponents. No opponents. Okay, draw some cards. Cool. Okay, we got another Voice of Victory too, so this is actually good. But we're not getting lands. That's actually what we really, really want. So I guess in the meantime, we'll just throw out the Voice of Victory. If our opponent doesn't answer that, that actually will be great next turn. One single attack from a Voice of Victory will trigger off Servandum to get 2 counters on it, and even if Servandum does get blown up after that, we can still get the value out of the card regardless. Opponent. Okay, they let it go. Free swing here, down to 17. Now, does this stick for the next turn? If it does, then we are going to be good to go here. Oh, there's Vivi. Ugh. Are we going to completely get destroyed here? Alright. I gave it haste. I have Wild Ride. So that means they can trigger this over for 4 mana at this point. Do they blow up our Voice of Victory? Maybe. Oh, into the Flood Maw. Alright. So they bounce it back. Okay, Vivi's going to swing. Maybe. Or is it going to get pumped up some more? Towards the tower. Yeah, Vivi was a mistake. As you can kind of see right here. Yeah, we didn't even get the death trigger off of our own card there. Alright, and we're not getting our land, so we're not doing too good here. Okay, I don't think we're going to win this one at this point. We can try. Okay, Line Breaker. And at this point now, it's going to be just... Ugh, dang, we're going to be in defensive mode for the rest of the match, aren't we? We didn't get any of our land drops, so that means we're completely now at the mercy of a card that's going to be able to generate so much mana here. Alright. 2 more cards in hand, opponents. But Vivi really can refuel quickly. Like, wow, what an incredibly ridiculous card this was. Unfortunately, the game we played with Vivi, we didn't get a chance to stream the whole thing, which was a shame. But even with a 1-hour mini stream, I mean, we were able to prove very quickly that Vivi, even on a budget, like literally if you made just Vivi, which is like, what now, like what, $70 a single copy for this card? That's ridiculous. But this plus like the cheapest pile of spells you can, and you can still just get wins out of nowhere. It really is such an incredibly silly card for what it does. Okay, so in the meantime, just pass. Where are our lands at? We need our lands. It's like our... Okay, so I guess we'll just block here. I'm assuming they might have something with trample, so we'll just block with everything just to somehow survive. Okay, so cards down. Servandum does get to go off, so that's good. And we make another token. So we managed to get... Okay, well, there's finally one of our lands. Let's see. How do we want to do this? I guess Voice of Victory comes back in. So it hedges our bets still on that. Actually, we'll keep the token there. Down to 12. We're not dead. Our opponent still can get around us. I mean, this is not the worst. Tap land. 2 more lands, opponent. Did they run out of steam? I mean, that is good for us. Opponents? Oh, okay. Nothing. That's good for us. Okay, we'll sacrifice here. Get some life. Okay, we managed to get another land drop. That's what we wanted. It is unfortunately going to be tapped, but that's a small price to pay. Let's see. What do we want here? Star-shaped Cleric. Okay, so with this, mobilize. Obviously, we're going to lose the Voice of Victory, but we're just trying to get life back. If our opponent is stumbling here, this actually does buy us time. Mono Musa, would you consider adding Mono White Halia to the deck for some extra life gain? I can, but I don't think I actually got any copies from the wild card packs that we got. Okay, in the meantime, I guess we'll do this now. Get the value. Life gain. Draw 2 cards. Down to 2. Wait, did we beat opponent here? Did we win? Oh my god, we actually beat them. We beat the best deck currently in standard right now. So, completely out of my own inability to count numbers. But hey, I'll take the win. I will definitely take that win against Vivi. Wow, we actually kind of snuck out a win there out of nowhere. Yay! Alright, so that was good. That was good. So we managed to at least get one sneaky win off of a Vivi deck today, so I will take that. Excuse me. Coughing over here. Okay. Get our next match going here because we are feeling good.
It's time to
Yeah, all right. Okay, so with that, okay, so we got our Verge Land, we got a basic, which is good. Good hand overall. Again, we just need to get our lands, we should be good to go. Okay, Land of War Elves. What is our opponent going to try to play? All right, we'll see. We'll see what our opponent's trying to cook up here. Innkeeper's Talent. Okay. Okay, so mono green counters. Alright, the counters are coming. Verge Land. Okay. Nesting Bot for now. And pass. Gonna spin it. Okay, Nashi match I had was very good. Recurred like 4 things from the trigger. Nice! I haven't had a really good chance to play with Nashi at all, but it definitely looked like a fun card when I saw it previewed last year during, was that a Duskmourn, early on. Okay, so with this, sacrifice the Nesting Bot now. Make a servo. We need to draw some cards. Find some answers here. Okay, Concealed Courtyard, okay. We'll play Servandum. Infestation Sage. No attacks yet. We are also close to getting Sephiroth to go off here. Just need a little bit more. Our opponent... Frenzied Balon, okay. Okay, so our opponent is just straight up stompy. Just pumping things up and swinging away. Come on, I'm curious to see if I can make a Servandum Blink deck, since I'm pretty sure Servandum also triggers when exiled. It does. It actually really does. So, if you want to, I mean, you could definitely play some goofy shenanigans with it. Like, you know, blinking away. And this is something we'll talk about at the end of the stream, which is, so for example, you can do blink shenanigans where if you want to exile stuff, and then Servandum's trigger goes off to get more counters, and then that can come back to get even more value if they have, like, ETB stuff. It's actually really cool. But until then... to block here with everything. Because our opponent, they got some big creatures now. Okay. But we do get our triggers to go off. Okay. We're getting there. How many cards do we have? Okay. We have 3 creatures in the yard. Sephiroth. Sacrifice the Mercenary. Life gain and drain. Alright. Well, we managed to somehow survive a little bit here, which is good. Big swing our opponent down to 13. Okay, so I think we're set here for success. Even if we lose the whole board right here and now, I think we might be able to squeak out a win here. Maybe. Okay. Ooh. Ugh. I mean, again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, but the Baloth, of course, has Trample. Everything else doesn't have Trample. That's actually good. Oboro is quite strong. We haven't had a chance to do it, but we will go over a +1/+1 counter deck while we're still playing with Edge of Eternity. So that's probably going to be maybe next week's live stream. Ugh. Okay, maybe I got a little bit ahead of myself here. Okay. Maybe we not going to win now? That's a lot of cards they got. I mean, let's see. We survived the hit here? Okay. Let's see. Wait, do we lose? I think we might lose. Okay. Block, 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 block. Dang. All right. I mean, if the Baloth didn't have trample, I think we could have survived this. We're down to 2. Okay, we get all the triggers to go off, and then I guess we'll blow up. Well, dang, we can't do that with the ward, which is unfortunate. I really want that out of the way. I mean, they're already big as is. Might as well just blow that up. We get 1 cute little insect token. Lots of life gain and drain shenanigans. But that's pretty much it, everybody. I don't know if we're going to get around that beyond this point. They're down to 10. But there's not enough in the yard for us to just sacrifice everything for value. Dang. Okay, opponent's going to have to throw away a bunch of cards. Not that it matters, but hey, we tried. Oh, come on, opponent. That was not necessary. We're definitely making sure that we don't have anything on the board now for the next turn. Toots. Opponents? Anything else? Anything else? Throwing away card still. There we go. Umbral Zealot would have been amazing like a turn or so ago, but we don't have what we need. So I can raise the past to buy ourselves time, but that's not enough. The Baloth alone is what destroys this whole plan of ours. And Keeper's Talent. Well, even if you see us getting completely destroyed here, everybody, as a friendly reminder, if you do like any of the content that we do, and if you do like to be a fan of us, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck techs, live streams, and so much more. As you can see, if you don't mind us getting completely shellacked here by opponents that are just going to go absolutely crazy with their mono green decks, yeah, check us out, of course. We'll try to stream 2 times a week. We'll throw up a deck tech once a week, and then we'll pepper in the rest of the week with a bunch of fun shorts of booster pack openings, fun commentary, all kinds of stuff. Of course, all those links are in the details of this stream once we're done for today. However, until then, I guess we'll just block here. It doesn't really matter at this point. Our opponent's got us completely destroyed. But if you actually want to continue on and help us out a little bit more, we do, of course, have the link for the Patreon that's scattered throughout the chat itself. Or if nothing else, you can, of course, show us a little bit of love on Discord. Again, those links will be located in the details of this stream once we are done later today. Unfortunately, however, our opponent got destroyed us here fully. Ouch. And that was the worst one we've taken today. But that's okay, everybody. It's okay. We're still going to keep pushing on here. All right. Keeping those good times rolling. I will try to do a better effort of trying to be a little bit more involved in things overall. It's been a little bit tough because, again, this is something I only do part-time, and I still have a lot of fun with it, and I appreciate all of you that are watching. However, again, it's just tricky because, you know, this little fireball, of course, does have some stuff to do outside of the world of Magic. But every time we can stream, we will, and we'll do what we can to kind of, we'll just do what we can to just show off, again, what you can play on a budget where you don't have to spend a ton. Trust me, I would love to have Sephiroth as a super cheap card here, but man, it's just, what is this card right now? How much? 50 bucks? I think he's 50 or 60. Ugh. Not fun. But at least here in Arena, it's kind of a little bit more affordable. I don't know. Maybe just rambling about prices. But otherwise, as always, one more time, just thanks again for being here, everybody. Appreciate all of y'all. That's mostly what I was just trying to get to. Okay, so we'll play our Concealed Courtyard. Get the Link Breaker. I don't know why do I keep saying Line Breaker. I realize it's not Line Breaker, it's Link Breaker. Probably should fix that in the future. Link Breaker. I really should read cards more often. Okay, opponent, what you got? Secret Foundry, okay. No shocking themselves, that's fine. We can play our next Line Breaker. I'm sorry, Link Breaker. I don't know why I keep saying Link Breaker. So, words are hard for me. It is Link Breaker. Note to self that, as always. Okay, in the meantime, opponents. Oh, Vergeland, okay. Oh, weapons manufacturing. Huh. A Jeskai artifact deck? Well, this might be interesting. Sounds spicy. We'll get our swings in here. Down to 17. Sephiroth. Sacrifice one line breaker. Draw a card. Got another land. That's good. Life gain drain our opponent there. All right. Okay. Opponent's playing. Oh, Peerless. All right. Well, that means Sephiroth goes bye-bye. Unfortunate, but that's okay. Small price to pay. Oh, we already have another one. So I guess I'll take that. We'll do the same thing again. Swing here, down to 14. Sephiroth number 2. And then we'll sacrifice line Link Breaker. See, I got it right that time. Drain, drain, and pass. So if our opponent does have another answer with the Perilous Snare, we can sacrifice it at least with Corrupted Conviction. So at least we can kind of get some more value going on here. Excuse me. Desmond, that deck can be pretty gnarly if they pop off. You're talking about the mono green deck we just got completely destroyed by. Am I correct? Yeah. It was, I was surprised. Ooh, weapons manufacturing number 3. Ooh. They can make a lot of stuff there. Life gain and drain again. We need to get to our other key pieces here to win. Okay, well, Fountain Port's not horrible. But we'll put down first off a Verge land. Play Umbral Caller Zealots. Sacrifice here. Actually, hold on. Decline. Down to 8. We'll keep the mana open because I think we might need to sacrifice at instant speed just to make sure we can get our stuff going here. We're close. Opponent can make a ton of munitions, and I love this card a lot. I think it's probably now my favorite card from the set. Hopefully I can get a copy of it. But it looks like our opponent's going to try to make a bunch of drones they can blow up with weapons manufacturing. I don't know. Cryogen Relic. Okay. Opponents still trying to do the thing. That's cute. We definitely already, I can tell you right now, we already have another deck that is going to utilize weapons manufacturing. Just small spoiler, but we will talk about that card at the end of the stream. Okay. Opponent sacrificing the Cryogen Relic. Puts a stun counter on the creature. Okay. I mean, that's not horrible. Sephiroth still can technically do its thing. So, warped away. Play Corrupted Conviction. Still life gain and drain our opponent here. Draw more cards. Okay. And then pass here. Infestation Sage. Okay. So, let's see. How do I want to do this here? Infestation Sage. Fountain Port. Swing here for some damage. Down to 4. Okay. So, I think we might be able to pull off a victory here. Or at least if not this turn, for sure next turn. If our opponent does not have any life gain, I think we can get him here. Oh, the Jeskai deck. Oh, okay. Ah, okay. You're talking about that. Yes. Well, now that you brought up also the deck itself, I mean, we did put it to a vote on YouTube, and it sounds like most of you want to see our next deck tech for next week, Pioneer. So definitely we can definitely do that. We can make that work. Opponents. We're trying to get the value going. Pinnacle Stargate. Oh. This will exile everything, but we can still get around that. Okay, so Corrupted Conviction, Infestation Sage, down to 3, draw 2 there, unroll. Okay, throw away the Verge land, and then let's see, make a fish token. Sacrifice the fish token. Down to 1. Ooh. Alright. Everything's gone. So they will do a ton of damage to us, but we try to get as much as we can here. But they're down to 1. I think we can get them here. Oh, no, that's not enough. Okay, I miscounted. I thought we were going to have enough there. It's definitely a harsh way to win, but they got us there. Ouch. Man, I thought we were going to stabilize there, but we did not get them. But that's okay, everybody. That's okay. Not a big deal. Very powerful deck, though, once that that pinnacle goes off. Because I forgot that the munitions, if they just go away in any way, shape, or form, you can get completely blown out there. But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, we got nuked there pretty hard. But that's okay. That's not a big deal. I still love the card, though. But definitely we will talk about our next deck tech soon. It's actually a really fun one, too. Again, I think we were able to make that work for Pioneer. So don't worry. That is going to be our first Pioneer one from this set. All right, so in the meantime here, because I realize now our last two deck techs, we made one for Timeless. The one we just brought out yesterday was actually Standard. So I know you guys are itching for another good Pioneer deck. It's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. Concealed Courtyard, Link Breaker. All right, opponents, what you got? Bring it on. Bring it on. Rackus Theater, Surveil Land. So what does our opponent try to play here? They haven't shown us yet. Okay, that's fine. I don't know if they actually are going to try to do some life gain drain shenanigans, so I don't want to hurt us too much. We don't need the Shock Land to do its thing yet. Corrupted Conviction. Okay. Fountain Ports. All right. Swings here. Some early game damage. Down to 17 opponents. We will have enough for Raise the Pass soon, so we just need to start getting the yard filled. Oh, shoot the sheriff? Okay, so here's how we do this. I guess we'll do this now. Okay, make our mercenaries. Servandum, that'll be good for later. So I think we'll do it this way. Instant speed. We're just going to just dump everything into the yard. Oh, wow, 2 Servandums, okay. Okay. Sephiroth, I guess, will be good. Okay, so in the meantime... There we go. All the value we could. Oh, all right, we have another Raise the Pass, so... We just need one more land. Until then, however... Sephiroth will just be chilling here for a moment. Unholy Annex. Ooh, okay. So, Rakdos Demons? Interesting. Alright, Sephiroth coming in solo. No sacrificing value there, but that's a fine. That's fun. It really is fitting that they really manufactured a Hydrogen Bomb. Oh, yeah. That was an interesting way of kind of doing that. Oh. Wow. They actually had an answer for us. Okay, so now we're looking kind of rough here. They actually managed to exile a creature we control and our graveyard in one shot there. So I think we're... I don't know if we're going to survive now. We had an answer, but now our opponent managed to destroy our strategy. Completely wrecked there. I think that was actually worse than what we just had to deal with. Finn? Huh. Very confused with what our opponent's trying to do here, but okay. I was not expecting Finn on the bingo card here for this deck, but okay. Okay, okay. Creature of the Schism. Okay, so they're just... What, Jun Death Touch? It's a very interesting deck here, but okay. I mean, we can still try to get there with what we have. So with that... Very spicy build, opponents. I kind of like what they're doing with this deck that they have. Definitely not what I was expecting at all. Okay, so they will draw. They go down to 7, though, so they're a little bit, that's a little bit on the risky side here. Okay, we've got in the Godless Shrine. Concealed Courtyard. Okay, so, well, let's raise the past. Gets us back for creatures. No attacks yet. Okay, but at this point, obviously our opponent can turn on the Black Demon, and that's going to be the end of us there. Because there's no way for us to stop anything that big in the sky. At least not in the main board. Okay, Elegy Acolyte. I have seen this card, but I haven't had a chance to really play with it. Whenever one or more creatures using no common damage, I'll cause some life. Okay, well, they got life back. Yeah, I have no idea what this deck is like trying to pull off here, but some way, somehow, they pulled off a very spicy build that I just cannot get a read on. Okay, so we still make tokens again. We got a poison counter too. Cecil. Alright. Go down to 8. I am surprised they haven't turned on their demon yet, which I was actually really surprised about. Still bring those back again. But at this point, we're just stalling out. Because there's not really anything we can do against this. There's just so much value that they have for an entire deck that I have no idea how to play against. We haven't gotten any of our key pieces in the yard. Not enough to at least do our shenanigans. So we'll give it this one more turn. We'll probably have to concede this one, unfortunately. Yeah, see, look at that. Like, they're playing... They have Unholy Annex, but they're not really a demon deck. They have Exiling in here. They got... It's just a pile. Again, like... Yeah, I don't even know what to say to this deck. Okay. Yeah. Let's go on to the next one. We don't have any main deck rats or anything for this deck, so there was nothing we really could have done, so... Dang. Very confusing, but okay. I have to analyze that deck in the future. Like, maybe I'll have to look at the footage a little bit later on, because I was like, what are they playing? It's okay. Shaking it off. We'll still get another couple more wins here. I feel that the deck actually can get a little bit more victories for us. But yeah, we have to scoop there. I don't like to scoop super early, but sometimes I have to admit there are going to be some matches where we just cannot win. Even if there's a very glimmer of hope, sometimes it usually just doesn't work out. Any case, all right, so here we go. Concealed Courtyard, Godless Shrine. Okay, we got plenty of sack fodder, and we can kind of play up the curve here if everything goes just right. Okay, feeling good here. Get the Courtyard out, get the Sage. All right, opponent, what you got? I was like, wait, what? What sleeve is this? I don't remember the sleeve, but I feel like it's from a promo set that I don't remember. Okay. Let's get out the Zealots. Down to 19, opponent. Okay, so what you got? Okay, Swamps. All right, Trajectory. Not a big deal. That's fine. Ooh, we have Raise the Past already. Okay, so we are in a good spot here. Creature of the Schism. 18. Okay, so hopefully we can start building up some... we can get some vampire tokens with our Preacher of the Schism. Or not. Okay, opponent is just blowing up the board. Still not sure what they're doing, but okay. If nothing else, this does buy us plenty of time to feed our whole graveyard, so maybe that'll be good for us. As long as they don't have graveyard hate, we should be good to go here still. If we can just find that extra land, then we're set with Raise the Past. Susarian Voidborn? Huh, I don't remember this card from it. Whenever this creature or another creature or after an opponent dies. Oh, interesting. Maybe we should have played this. This looks cool. Preacher of the Schism again. That's fine. No attacks yet. Huh. Yeah, I don't remember this card at all. There's actually quite a few cards I feel like I'm just missing across so many sets that we really should be playing or at least checking out for budget decks. I just feel like, I don't know, it just feels like so much happens in a season of Magic sets that, yeah, a lot of stuff gets left behind. I'm still discovering stuff from, like, last year. Like, look, I forgot also about Timeline Color. This is actually a pretty cool card, but considering that how it works, I'm trying to figure out a good aggro deck with Timeline Color. So they can do some life gain and drain shenanigans here. That's fine. Okay, opponents. Servandum. Alright. That's not bad either. Servandum. And pass. It's tempting to swing with the insect, but I want to make sure we have a chump blocker, at least if they have anything else. Timeline Color coming back. It will cost them a bit of life, though, if they keep casting it, though. Okay, they got the Void Burn. Okay, so it's just like an aggro deck, I'm guessing, where they just keep swinging away and just keep hitting us with these creatures. Like, literally the whole deck is Edge of Eternities, which is kind of cute. Okay. I'm going to do this just to pump up Servandum here. Okay. At least it gets it off the field. They will drain us, but we also gain some life too. Okay, so with that, we warp out one card. Okay, so we did get now finally our last piece here, which is good. We just need to raise the past. Nice. Okay. Do we swing here? No attacks yet. If we can just get Sephiroth to stick on the next turn, then I think we should be good to go here. Okay, the Void Burn. Okay, Color. Okay. Okay, they do their exile shenanigans. Okay, so with that, Sephiroth coming in. There we go. All right. We sacrifice Link Breaker. Okay, nice. Okay, and then from there, we can keep sacrificing. All right, pumping up Zervondum. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. Do you block any more, opponents? It has to be 2 creatures, so do you do it? Can we get through this? Opponents? Oh, and they have given up. I'll take that victory, everybody. Yeah! Nice! All right. So we still managed to kind of hover around still Platinum 3 and 4, just to make sure we can still maintain ourselves there. All right. Opponent kind of figured out there that we could just sacrifice everything at instant speed and just mess with their combat tricks. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so we are getting, again, as a reminder, everybody, a little bit closer to the end of the stream, just as a friendly reminder again. As always, I do like to stream, and I do enjoy having fun with all of you. But again, we will have to be ending it soon enough. We're looking at probably the next, like, 20, 25-ish minutes, tops. But after that, we will, of course, as always, we'll then do a little breakdown of how today went, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, of course, we'll talk about, for those of you that stick around to the very, very end, a little sneak peek as to what's to come for the future for the videos. Okay, but until then, let's get a couple more victories here. Hopefully, again, we've been getting a bit more here. Deck's been doing pretty well, both the budget and the non-budget version, so I've been pretty happy and satisfied with the deck overall. Okay. Okay, opponent, what you got? What you throwing at us? Swamp. Oh, Infestation stage 2. Ooh, maybe they are a sacrifice deck like us. All right, I guess we'll find out soon enough. Sage number 2. No attacks. Dan Splendid, I honestly forgot that there was another card that doubles adventure spells in a way that in the new Eldraine set. It's Chancellor of Tales and another adventure card, Storyteller Pixie, that draws you cards for each casting adventures. Yes, they are in there, but yeah, it seems like a lot of us, especially myself, kind of forgot that they existed. A lot of stuff, even from like as far back as like 2 years ago, I'm still discovering as like really good options for us. Let's see, Servondum coming in. And let's see. We'll pass here. The only awkward part is our opponent is also playing Voice of Victory, so they actually kind of have a very similar game plan, but because they have a Voice of Victory, we cannot use Corrupted Conviction at the end of their end step. So we're going to have to play this the fair way. But we'll see. Can we get around their sacrifice shenanigans? I suppose I realized I could have added starting towns instead for better fixing, but the paying the life constantly for that also kind of hurts after a while. Oh, so our opponent is playing sacrifice deck. Let's see who can out-sacrifice who. All right, opponents. I'm game. All right. I'm going to zoom in mine. Link Breaker, Link Breaker. I remember that. Link Breaker, not Line Breaker, Link Breaker. Okay. We've got a Preacher, so that's good. Let's see. Do we do it here? Not yet. Okay, so we have our hefty board state here. Preacher of the Schism can block for a little bit. Okay, so they are running Vengeful Blood Witch. I know some people might be asking, why did we not run this card in our sacrifice deck? Truth be told, I kind of went with the Bat because of Star-Shaped Cleric's flying, and the fact that it's a 2-1 in the air. which sometimes can be relevant, but realistically, because of all the life gain that we get from Servandum, that's the reason why we wanted to go with the Bat versus Vengeful Blood Witch here. For Vengeful Blood Witch to do its thing, you have to have creatures die, but some argue that this could be better. I mean, we'll talk about this, of course, at the end. Okay, so we'll block there, and block there. Okay, opponents, they do sacrifice. They're going to get all their life gain and drain shenanigans going on, which is fine. Okay, so our opponents, is their build better than ours, though? Okay, so they're going to get their life gain and drain shenanigans going. Opponents. Right, and the last one gets sacrificed. Okay, but the good news, though, is we managed to get rid of their Voice of Victory. So that's actually what we wanted to do. Okay, so this puts us in a decent spot here. But we have our Raise the Past already, so that's actually good for us. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, everybody. So we will swing. Do we block here? Actually, you know what? We'll just do a full swing. Super aggro. But to be fair, they both cast 4 mana, and there are 1 blue mana. But hey, maybe consider a new adventure deck. I mean, we actually got quite a few new adventure-ish cards from Final Fantasy and a couple other sets. I didn't think we were going to get any more, but we could definitely kind of reevaluate adventures. Now that I think about it, I don't think we've ever done a Brawl adventure deck, like a full one with that. Maybe we might have to consider that in the future. There is technically one I wanted to do that does utilize one specific card. There is a card from Lord of the Rings. So there was a 4-color Aragorn card that I actually built I kind of hashed together an adventure deck out of him. It's a little clunky. I remember I played against some of you one of our streams a while back, but I haven't had a chance to refine it in years. So maybe we might have to reevaluate that for a future deck. Okay, our opponent got the Sephiroth out, so opponent, looking better than us right now. We're going to try. We're still going to try. Okay, so they're draining us fast here. Can we get around everything? Block with Servandum. Obviously, our opponent's going to sacrifice here. So with Sephiroth out, I think our opponent probably has the advantage here. Yeah. Dang. Without our other pieces, Sephiroth can just beat us down here pretty quick. Because I can do this. I mean, I can still pull off stuff here, but Sephiroth's going to flip either way. He already has the Umbral out, and everything else can kind of do its thing. Okay, come on, opponents. I think the only other thing I would consider for our deck is we would need to have, maybe in the main deck, some instant speed removal, but that's really kind of hard in a sacrifice deck because you want things to die, but you want to make sure your opponent doesn't get the advantage too much either. I don't know. I mean, this is one of those times where the mirror match can be a little tough because of how our decks are slightly different from us. Okay, opponents. This is down to 2. Okay, because, yeah, their version is using Snarling Gorehounds instead. Ours is just trying to use as much sack fodder as possible. Okay, so at this point, Sage. It will drain us. But try to stay alive. Down to 2. Draw 2 more cards. Dang. We didn't get what we needed ahead of time. So our opponent managed to outdo us with their version of sacrifice. Such a shame. But that's okay, everybody. Not a big deal. That's okay. Okay, so looking at the clock right now, I think we can squeeze in maybe 2 more matches, and I think that'll be it for today, everybody. And again, thank you so much, everybody, for your continued support of the channel. And then, of course, we'll make an announcement later in the week when our next stream will probably be. Most likely, it'll probably be either Friday or Saturday. This gives me a little bit of time because I'm also a little behind on recordings for the next deck tech. So we'll try to hash that out as quick as possible, maybe later today. Okay, so in the meantime, let's see what we got here. So we have the right lands, but we need to turn on that Verge land. This is one of the awkward parts about the Verge lands. They're just, Okay, land war ups. All right. Oh, there we go. Yay, that works out too. Perfect. Okay, opponents. What else you got? Playing Gruul. Are we playing Stompy? Straight up mid-range aggro. Okay, we got another Verge land, which is good. We'll play for now Servondum. Swing here. I know they're not going to block, so it's just free damage for us. Down to 17. Okay. Fable Pastor's getting sacked. Alright, what else you got, opponents? 4 more cards. Oh, Scorching Dragon card. Aw. Ooh, people still play that? I guess they do. Alright. Well, unfortunately, we lose our... Oh, okay. Nova Hellkite. We unfortunately do lose our Servondum, which is a shame. And they got the Hellkite, so that means they can do damage now. Joy. And we'll just block with it. So that means they don't get any value out of it. They warp it away. They'll have to pay full price for it if they want to bring it back. Okay, Servondum again comes back out. Play Preacher to the Schism. Okay. Well, opponent did try to get some hefty stuff going on there, but I think we can still find a way to fight around it. Nova Hellkite now for full price. Things our creature for 1. Swings. Okay, down to 16. Alright. Servondum. Coming in. Uses as a tap land. We will swing here. Make a token. Okay. Down to 15, opponent. So this is going to be just basically a slugfest unless we can get our sacrifice shenanigans going ASAP. Starship Cleric actually wouldn't be too bad out here either. The only awkward part is, yeah, it just cannot block. Vaultborn Tyrant. Oh, jeez. This card again. Ooh, not good. Down to 12. Our deck does not have any way of building out anything. I mean, we could still go wide, but we don't have enough to actually survive against a Tyrant here. Okay. Do we lose this one? Take another token. Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. I guess we'll have to let that go. Down to 16. So it makes a token of itself. So they gain their life. We drain them. And... Alright. I'm trying to figure out, like, what's the best solution here. Zealot. And pass. Okay, so... enough power here should be able to stop Tyrant before it does anything else. Okay, swinging. Of course. Okay. 10 damage to our face, so that's gonna hurt a lot, but... Okay, so with that, let's see. Anything else, opponents? Oh, they have the Scorching Dragonfire already? Okay, so that means we have to sacrifice here. Drain our opponent a little bit there. Well, I guess we don't need the planes anymore. Alright, they hit it. Go down to 1 on that one. If they're gonna die, I might as well sacrifice here a little bit. More. Okay, so we got the Razor Pass. That's good. Okay, and then... guess that's it. Okay, opponents. Go down to 9. We will lose another Servondum, unfortunately, but... getting that out of the way means that Nova Hellkite does die, so that's good. Okay, so we're not completely wrecked here. Starshape Cleric number 2. Damage there, 13. Okay. It's tight. We might be able to pull off a victory here. Oh, never mind. Another Tyrant. Okay. Dang. Opponent's not letting up there. We'll try. 3 damage. Got a 9. One player goes bye-bye to draw. Okay, so we did get a Swamp there and a Preacher to the Skin. So... Alright, raise the past. Down to 14. Okay. Jeez, what an annoying card to deal with here. That Tyrant just is so hard to fight through. You really just need something that can actually exile it. That's what you need. We unfortunately, however, do not have that in this deck. Our opponent managed to ramp out a ton. Alright. And I think that is game. With the saddling and all that stuff, yeah, we're not going to win that one. Still holding on to Platinum Tier 3. Let's do it this way, everybody. One more game. Win or lose. This will be the final one for today, everybody. And we'll see if we can at least manage to squeak out one more victory with the deck. Afterwards, as always, we will be more than happy to talk about the deck, and we'll go over everything. We'll then give you a sneak peek as to what's to come later on in the future stream and the future deck techs. And that'll be it for today, everybody. Thank you again, as always. Appreciate all of you for being there for me today. All right. Let's see. Okay, so Raise the Pass is still a ways away, but we do have all the other pieces we need. All right, let's get this down. Link Breaker. All right. Opponent. Don't forget to change the name, by the way. Yes. So once we're done here, I'm going to have to scramble a little quickly here to kind of get a couple things going. We'll definitely need to get them the name change. That shouldn't take you too long. Okay, down to 19. All right, opponents. Bring it on. I've got you. I got you. Okay, Bandit's talents. Opponent making this discard. Throw away Starshape Cleric. Voice of Victory would be great here if we can. Swing here. Down to 17. Okay, opponents. Alright, Preacher to the Schism. Cool. Godless Shrine will be good for now. Shock ourselves. We then play the Voice of Victory. Swing in here for 15. Opponents. Anything else? Deep Cavern Bat. Oh, dang, that's gonna be annoying to deal with. So if they steal Sephiroth, then that means, yeah, dang. Well, there goes our card draw for now, but that's okay. We still have ways of getting around things. Preacher of the Schism will be a toughie to get through, but we can still find a way to fight around it. Okay, opponents. Anything else? Anything else? Don't be waiting too long, opponents. They swing. They make a token. Keep the damage down to 16. Okay. Ruthless Negotiation. Aww. Dang. Well, there goes our Raise the Past. Okay, well, Nesting Moth's gonna come in. I guess we'll swing with everything. Big swing here. Okay, alright, we're just gonna go with the go wide strategy now. Not ideal, but gotta do what we gotta do. Opponents. Okay, blocking. Down to 11. Go back up to 13. But we do get Sephiroth back. That's what we wanted. Okay, now all we just need to do is just get Sephiroth out in the next turn, and we should be good to go. At least I hope we will be. Come on, deck. A little bit more. Opponents. Opponent. 4 cards in hand. Long goodbye. Alright, so well, there goes one of our sack options there, but that's okay. Anything else, opponent? 3 cards left. They have the Ruthless Negotiation with flashback, but they can't flash it back anytime soon. Anything else? Clock's ticking, opponent. They do swing. Make a token. No blocks. Down to 14. Hyperblade. Huh. Okay. I haven't seen anybody play this, and I wasn't sure how this can go for us. Okay. They added to their token. That's an interesting choice, but okay. Sephiroth coming in. We will sacrifice the nesting bot. Drain our opponent. Take a token. Fountain Port. Let's... Infestation Sage. Swing. Do you block, opponents? I'm pretty sure they will not block. Oh, they do block. Okay. Well, I mean, they do get a lot of life back, but that does trigger off Sephiroth quite a bit here. Okay, so 15 and 14. It's still anybody's game. Two cards in hand still, opponents. Oh, shoot the sheriff. Alright, so they do have the removal. Alright. Midnight Reaper. Huh. I didn't know that was legally understand. Okay, it's from Foundations, that's why. There's a lot of cards from Foundations that I really forgot actually came back. It's been very interesting. Okay. Corrupted Conviction. Okay. Pass here. Okay. That Hyperblade is actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It's expensive to equip, but it triggers off on either opponent. So, okay. Corrupted Conviction. Okay, so at least do this. Draw 2 cards. Ow. Well, we didn't quite get what we needed here, but I guess we'll exile the land. Okay. Okay, opponent has now maxed out their bandits talent. Okay, opponent is trying to do some big swings here. So, let's see. How do we do this? Is there a way out of this? We'll just do it this way. We gotta get rid of the creatures. The whole board's blown up. They're at 16, we're at 9. Hyperblade goes back on. Actually a pretty annoying little card. Down to 7. Okay, Line Breaker. Creature. Oh, I'm sorry, Link Breaker. I don't know why I cannot. I'm just forever like ingrained to say Line Breaker, but it's Link Breaker. I guess it's just not a common card or common word you'll see. But okay. In the meantime, though, okay, Schism here. We're almost. I mean, we're really trying hard to stabilize here, but our opponent has a lot of stuff here that I was not expecting. Okay, we'll block here. We'll lose our Schism, but so they lose theirs too. Okay, swamp again. Bandit's Talent. No real value because we already have our hand empty. A Raise the Past here would be amazing. That's all we need. One Raise the Past. Creature Schism again, back. Dang, they managed to actually put that blade on there again. A lot of interesting stuff I have not seen so far. Okay, Corruption Conviction. Oh. Okay. Wait, do we die next turn? Hold on. Okay, sacrifices to get a couple cards. Oh, 2 Preachers. 1 or fewer cards. Ugh, I can't even play my own Preachers because I'm going to lose then here. Wow. Okay. Anything else, opponents? Dang, they managed to actually really outvalue us here with this deck. Okay, they draw a card. Ugh, this feels so bad. Sacrifice the token. Draw a card. Okay, got another land. I mean, we're trying to rebuild our hand here. Unfortunately, again, our deck does not have any main removal because we're just literally relying on just sacrificing for value, which has worked pretty well so far this past couple hours. But this time around, not having it really hurts. Deadly Cover-Up? What are they trying to name? Are they trying to name our Preacher of the Schisms? Or what are they trying to get? Opponents? Okay, so they took away our Sephiroths. Voice of Victory. Okay. Well, I mean, we're not dead, but we have to keep cards in hand now because we cannot afford to let our opponents do their thing. Yeah, 8 mana. Still 2 cards in hand. I cannot tell what they are. They have 2 Ruthless Negotiations. So there goes 1. Okay, draw a card. Okay. Anything else, opponents? If we can tap Pirate's Area. Ooh, okay. Opponent is getting very greedy here. Hold on. Is there any way out of... Oh, wait, hold on. We can do this. Actually, wait, no, I can't. For some reason, I was thinking in my mind, wait, we can sacrifice? No, we can't. Dang. All right. Well, I mean, that's it, everybody. We were trying so hard to stabilize, but I realized there was nothing we could have done. Just those Bandit's Talents actually got us pretty good there. That's okay. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Kind of ended on a loss there, but it's okay. Still, let's talk about the deck overall and see how well we did. Overall, though, I still like what the deck is doing. So now that we're renaming it Dead Space, again, thank you for that. What y'all think of the deck, everybody? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? I know that this was designed for Standard, but they actually can work very well and transported to any of the other formats very easily. Servandum is actually a pretty solid card overall. I like the fact that if it does end up getting blown up, getting exiled, you can still take something down with it because it destroys anything that's non-land permanent. Just make sure you get those counters on it, and it actually works really, really well overall. The budget deck actually worked decently well, all things considered, and it's something that I probably would recommend if you do like playing sacrifice decks and want to play something cheap. Granted, of course, you can only do this in Arena because Sephiroth in actual real paper is an expensive card, so an entire set I think is like $200. No thank you. No thank you for that. Still, it's overall very fun with how you design it. You can probably make some tweaks here and there kind of based upon what you saw with me today, but overall, pretty solid overall with the amount of wins we got. I think we went a little bit ahead of more wins than losses. I still like the deck for what it is. As far as the upgrades to the deck, same thing. We did pretty well with it overall. We got some losses, probably more losses with the upgraded deck versus wins, but it still came out pretty well. I, of course, was not keeping track, but at some point, I probably should be keeping track of my wins and L's anytime we stream. We'll do that maybe in the future. With that, though, Sneaky Toilet giving us the 4-month on the resub there. Thanks again for that. I appreciate that, my favorite friend. If you're there, yeah, we're going to be ending the stream soon. But if you're there, still, shout out to you. Thanks again for that. As always, appreciate your support. But anyways, going back to, again, the upgraded deck, I still like this deck for what it is. I probably would make some minor tweaks to it. I know some would say, what is it? It's the foundation cards. So there was a couple of foundation cards that maybe we would consider just kind of messing around with. Let's see, where are they at? Wow, I cannot find the cards right now. There we go. So Vengeful Blood Witch is something maybe we would reconsider instead of the Star-Shaped Cleric. I mean, the logic with Star-Shaped Cleric was being able to then get extra copies of it. But something, again, you can kind of mess around with. There's some things that you could change here and there. But it's kind of also tricky because the weakness we ran into was the times we wanted hard removal, the deck did not have it. So something to consider if you want to play something like this is, I don't know, maybe tweak a couple things to added removal or maybe some raw card draw. I know it was mentioned earlier, 9 Lives Familiar could be an awesome card for us too. The card enters with 8 revival counters on it, and every time it dies, you bring it back to the battlefield with 1 fewer until it's completely drained of all of its tokens. So can be also a fun card if you want to use this. Only reason why I didn't use it specifically was I wanted to try to keep more of our stuff that we can sack back and forth to be super cheap, or at least get a bunch of tokens for a way cheaper cost. Overall, I still like the deck. So, of course, as always, the links for this deck tech will be, of course, in the details of the stream once we're done in just a moment here. But before we go, as always, all of you that have stuck around this far into the video, thank you so much for that, because you are my true fiery friends. So because of that, let's get a little sneak peek as to what's to come up for the future here. So we have here the one I'm really excited to play with here. So this will be our next deck tech coming out next week. So this will be our seafood boil deck, a Boros artifact deck that's focused on weapons manufacturing and Ragost, sacrificing those munitions to make them food so we can keep life gaining and draining our opponent out with a punch of extra value. So that'll be something we'll talk about in more detail as time comes. As far as anything else that I kind of have cooking up, I don't really have too many things that I've solidified just yet. There are still some ideas here, like for example, I have a Tezzeret deck that I'm kind of playing around with a little bit here, but I might want to tweak it just a little bit. I want to make this mostly an artifact control deck, but it's kind of hard because Tezzerets are all they're all mythics. So any mythics I've had over time, great, but I literally am down to my last mythic. So I don't know if I want to be able to, I don't know if I can finish this up, but I'm going to try to. I will try to see if we can make this work, but it's still an interesting deck. The whole goal, of course, is to overwhelm our opponent with all the Tezzerets, get a bunch of value from artifacts to then draw cards, put a bunch of counters and proliferate all of our Tezzerets, and then just beat down our opponent with a giant artifact army. But that'll be something we'll talk about a little bit more in the future. As far as anything else beyond that, there's still a couple of other cards we've been trying to look around and playing around with. There's a card that I saw that actually really caught my eye. It's one of the... Hold on. I'll just do it this way. So there's a card specifically. So here it is. Virulent Silencer here. So this is actually a card I want to build around for a artifact creature deck that actually can poison out an opponent. So that actually sounds like a lot of fun. We're going to see if we can try to make this work. I don't know what color I want to do it in yet, but we will do it soon enough. So stick around for that. That'll be something we're going to do down the line in the next couple weeks or so. And then as always, once we anything beyond that, we'll definitely do our fan stream. So of course, those of you that are itching to play against me with a bunch of new ideas and fresh decks out there, bring it on, because we'll be doing that at the end of August. I will announce the official date for that a little bit later on. Hopefully, I think it should be at the end of this week. I can officially solidify the date, but that'll be, of course, down the line. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for today, everybody. One more time, thank you again to all of you that provide support today. So shout outs to everybody that were here today. Dina Samuel Art, thanks again for that new follow. Sneaky Toilet, as always, for the resubbing. Dan Splendid also holding down the chat. Always appreciate that. Thanks again. You guys are great. Mono Musa, also thanks again for popping in as well. And then those of you that I do see across other socials, so I do see on here from the Instagram side there. So Sold Spec and Goblin City, thanks again for joining us as well. I know you guys didn't chat that much, but I still appreciate you guys being there just the same. And anybody else that I did not get a chance to say a shout out to because I didn't see your names in the chats or on the other parts of the streams, sorry about that. But again, I still appreciate you guys being there for me just the same. But that is pretty much it for today, everybody. So we'll be peacing out for now. We'll talk about soon enough the avatar cards that have just been announced earlier this morning. Hopefully, again, we don't get too overwhelmed from this, Spider-Man and everything. But there's going to be a lot of stuff we will definitely be building around throughout the remainder of 2025. But otherwise, have a wonderful day, everybody. I think the midweek magic event should be popping up soon, so have fun with that. Get your wild cards, get your dailies done, everybody. And again, we will get a chance to do this again over the weekend, coming up in a couple of days. But as always, before we get going, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again this weekend, everybody, for another stream. Later.